Yeah, it's on me for some reason, but
Yeah, right. All right, we're gonna call this planning commission meeting of the town of Waterford at May 11th at 5 p.m. to order. Please stand for the pledge of allegiance.
pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
I'll move on. Okay, looking for approval of the April 13th, 2026 minutes. That's presented.
Make a motion to approve.
I have a motion looking for a second. And a second. Any discussion, any corrections or anything? If not, I'll call for a vote. All in favor of the minutes as printed? Aye. Okay. Move on to, I don't know, tier variance, step 28, 997 Cherry Lane, lot of Logan between 7131 and 7124 North Michigan. Applicants are also seeking approval for a pier that does not meet the minimum setback requirements of 10 feet from the common riparian rights lines and established under section 9, 19G 2H, 1 of the municipal code. Please step up to the script. State your name and address and also what you're looking to do.
Yep, so my name is Kristen Sem, 28997 Cherry Lane, Waterford, 53185. So we're looking to, get a pier in that parcel. We've kind of had some discussions with a couple of neighbors and the property owner on the right. It's been something concern of hers to ensure that she has that minimum 10 feet, and so we want to make sure we honor that with what we're trying to do. And so the property owner on the left, we would be encroaching just under 3 feet. And so the goal would be, we don't want to put anything on that side of the pier. We want to leave that open. She doesn't do a boat or anything, but I know that she enjoys fishing and stuff. And we have kids and other people that like to go swimming and stuff. So we want to make sure that all stays open and that she still has that space, even though we'd be a couple feet closer than we should be. We want to make sure we leave that open. We have some people that come over and like to use it for the actors and everything. And, you know, we want to have like a flat end on our pier for like hosting pier hops for the actors. And if, you know, people want to come visit and stuff, you know, we have people that like to go fishing and everything. So we want to make sure that there's just kind of plenty of space.
Okay, thank you. I'll refer to this board here. Questions on paper submission?
I know you mentioned that the
use your,
property owner on the right side of the pier it doesn't have any concerns.
She's been very flexible in the past because that piece of property, it's smaller and it's attached. She doesn't use a boat or anything. She just wants to be able to have a pier in the water and for her to be able to fish. She's been very like flexible with the people that live on our lane going down there and using the shore for swimming and fishing and everything like that. And so we're just trying to ensure that, you know, if we don't put anything on that left side, that leaves her plenty of space and she doesn't have to worry about anything over there. She can go fishing and stuff like that. As far as I'm aware, she sold her boat the upper lift, and she doesn't have any desire to put a boat in the water.
Essentially, you're aware that your personal desire to do this does not meet the state standard.
Yes.
I would suggest at the very least, the lady to the left signs a release. She knows that we're infringing upon her rights away in the water, because this is setting a standard here. We're making an exception that's really not legal. There are several other ways to do this.
I'm going to defer to Tony. You research this, you have the packet, so
Yep.
inform the board of your findings.
So there's a couple issues I with respect to, obviously it's within it doesn't that 10-foot that distance there. The other thing is I did look at an overhead map, and from this it's hard to tell like how accurate it is in terms of like whether that's like a flat shoreline or if it's kind of curved a little bit. This diagram for the pier permit doesn't have the line of navigation of the water. knowing that line of navigation, you can't tell that from this.
Sure.
The other thing too is statute and the ordinance do require that we have to know the pier head line. So the length of the pier has to be either boat length, 3 foot of water depth, that it can send out to, or a greater depth if there's gonna, depending on the type of boat that's gonna go there. So we can't tell that from this either if it's the correct length.
Have you looked into shortening the width of the pieces of pier that run perpendicular to the main one going out? Right now it shows that it's what, 16 feet?
Yeah.
If we were to, cut that back to 3 feet, then you could get your 10.
But then, doesn't the distance also include like the length of a boat? Because then would that still be less than 10 feet if you were to park a boat there for the property owner on the right?
If you park the boats, move the pier over, park the boats alongside the pier, which makes them easier to get in and out of on top of the boat. You've got plenty of roofs there.
I know, we're just trying to keep one side open for the kayaking, swimming and fishing.
But the jet ski on the inside and
Yeah.
the boat on the outside of the pier.
Sure,
So your
so,
whole left side is wide open.
sure, we were just thinking for convenience, I guess, for us, because our gas tank on our boat is on the other side. So if we were to pull in that way, then we'd have a piece of pier to stand on to.
But you've got to get in over the bow of the boat then. Wave drawing. You got to pull over the bow of the boat to get in.
Well, if there's pier on both sides, they would just park in between those two 16 pieces. And then the jet
Those
ski.
aren't the boats.
No, the boat
No.
would be in the 16, if you're inside the 16 pieces, and then the jet ski would be in front of the first 16, and that whole left side would be entirely open. There'd be nothing over
If
there.
you take those piers off on the right side,
Mhm.
and park the boats this way.
Yeah.
Against the pier, everything is solved.
Yeah, we just didn't
You
want to
got
have
your whole
to
left
take
side
we
wide
just didn't
open?
want to have to take our gas can in the water. It's on the other side.
Bring it around the other side of the pier when you fill it.
I guess I also have a concern with the size. I think the square footage I come up with there is 160 as opposed to 112. So I would think also shortening those 16 feet down will get you to the 112.
Okay.
That's required.
Sure.
I think that's just for the patio, correct? The one.
And then,
Yeah.
I must have seen that. Okay.
Any further questions? Dave, anything down there?
Do we need to have an actual drawing, what you were talking about, before we can do this? With that waterway, that line?
Yeah, I don't think that this application shows everything that the application needs to show.
I don't see how we can improve much of this if we don't have the correct drawing, say, what the attorney's asking about, or shooting.
Well, that's pretty much a standard drawing that they've always done, so if something's changed, we should.
We need the line of navigation.
Are we going off line on that, or are we going off? We can't go off the pole, right? We gotta figure.
Yeah, the line of navigation will determine if it's gotta be lot extension or if it's coterminous. So that's what we can't tell from this.
Oh. I thought that cotimerous was in like a bay and they're
They're
not.
not, yeah.
yeah. we
That's
did
what I
get
was
a-
thinking.
We did get a survey done, we just don't have it back yet.
Well, from what I'm getting out of this, we need more information. And I would definitely, if you're talking to the property on the left side, I mean, and you want any type of variance, I'd get her to sign off on something. I mean,
Sure.
Wasn't that
and that would help your case.
Sure.
Same thing with the right side too, but I think we gotta list down what we need to address in this, we all have the proper information.
Yeah, essentially, this, can you see this?
It's okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So this is the channel line here. Yep. It could be that it's an extension, so this could be the riparian rights line, or it could be like this. So if it's like this, obviously you're running into more of an issue at the end.
Okay, aren't they, and please correct me if I'm wrong, I thought they were supposed to go parallel, is that not always the case?
It's parallel or it's coterminous.
Okay.
So it's, if there's the line of navigation, let's say it's like
Oh,
this.
okay, sure,
Then
so
it would
then this
be
would, okay,
90 degrees there, so now you're running into,
okay,
that makes sense?
yeah, that makes sense, yeah, thank you.
Any other questions for Attorney Adams here? How does this board want to proceed? Obviously, we don't have the impression of having to
Move to table this until we have more information.
motion.
I'll start with that.
Get a motion for table is a second. Any other discussion?
One question there. So if the lady on the 7-foot side sells that, do the owners then just have to live with the variance that's already been established, or what if the new owners, nah, I want my 10 feet, or do they just live with the variance that has been implemented with the private?
Yeah, if the pier's there and it got approved, they're living with it.
That's why we're setting a precedent. I don't think we should set a precedent. I think we should follow our ordinance.
I agree. So I go ahead.
We have a motion to table this until further is be submitted to us. And a second. I'll call for a vote. We want to withdraw the motion.
I would move to add in until the variance is removed.
Okay, we have that. So, gentlemen, do you want to move forward with a vote, or do you want to rescind your motion?
I think the motion is to table until we have more information regarding where the actual lot line is. And it's not in the paper.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. I will call for a vote. All in favor of that motion? Aye.
So that's all there is.
Ed?
Is we're voting.
I say nay. Okay. All right, the motion has been ordered to table this, we get the proper information, but I highly recommend that you stick with our ordinance. I mean, you try for the variance, but it may be denied.
Okay,
So,
all right, thank you.
all right, moving on, forthcoming events. I have nothing I'm aware of. Anybody else? We're good. Looking for a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Got a motion, look for a second.
I'll second.
Okay, all in favor? Aye.
5:14.
5:14.
This is why I like it. I should have tested it because it's the only second time it's being used.
Sorry.
5. Yeah, and the pledge of allegiance to the flag
of the United States of America, to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
If you have not signed in, please sign on the back. Motion to adjourn the Board of Resolution for June 19th, 2026. Board members?
I'll motion to adjourn the Board of Review till June 19th, 2026.
I got a motion, looking for a second.
I'll second that.
A motion second, any discussion? Now we'll call for a vote.
Is this just because the information is not available yet?
What do you mean the June?
The adjournment?
That's correct. Yep, the roll's not ready yet.
I got a motion second, call for vote, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Approval of the town board minutes dated April 13th and amended minutes from February 9th, 2026, town board meeting minutes. Please, if you have any questions, please refer to the clerk. The changes are highlighted in these two packets here. Looking for motion to approve?
I'll motion to approve minutes as printed.
We got a motion, looking for a second.
Second.
Call for discussion. Okay, call for vote, all in favor of the minutes?
Aye.
Aye. Passes. Okay. Approval of play claims as presented by Treasurer's Report. All right, Treasurer's Report. Summary is a 5-1. General tax checking, $141,079.85. General operating money market, $996,233.18. Reserve funds, $364,350. Estimated loan payoff, 5/8, $715,196.51. And future revaluation reserves, $250,000. Any questions on the claims or the report that was presented? If not, I'll look for a motion. Approve.
I'll make that motion.
Looking for a second.
I'll second.
Any discussion on the treasury report? I will add that pay app 7 was not submitted. We didn't finish paying pay app 5 with Buena Park, and we didn't pay app 6, so there's no reason to pay app 7 at the time. So I have a motion second. Any other discussion? Now we'll call for what, all in favor?
Aye.
Correspondence. I do not have any correspondence. We'll move on to department committee reports. Mr. Hort, Dean County Supervisor.
To make sure I follow, I want to hand this over to you. Thank you. I want to make sure I do it right. Thank you, Mr. Chairman, members of the committee. Welcome, Mr. McCormick. Great to see you up there, sir. I sent my report out, so I presume you all had it in your packet. I'll just go through the highlights very quickly on it. We did have our county elections for the chairman and vice chairman position. Tom Kramer was reelected as the chairman. Scott Meyer was reelected as the vice chairman, and he went up against Ernie Rossi. So it was 13-8. So obviously, as a board, there was other considerations, and it's good to see that Ernie was being presented very well, and he'll actually be the chairman of one of the committees also. So great to see that with Ernie. All of us, all the supervisors were sworn in. For some reason, we do it in the county every 2 years. All supervisors are up for election, so you could literally have an entire new slate if anybody ever wanted to try to do that. So, but we were all reelected, so we're off and running. I have been reelected as the on the Economic Development and Land Use Planning Committee. This time around as the chairperson, so I will be chairing that committee. I was also selected as the secretary for the Public Works and Parks Committee. So those are some additional responsibilities that I will have. I wanted to make sure that the information that we're sharing about the WWND's request for funding from the Monsanto funds stays front and center for everybody. We, in fact, are back on the agenda again, coming up on the 20th of May. This will be for our follow-up to the presentation we made back in March. This is for purposes of asking for action, for them to be able to either approve us for consideration to the full board or denial. So this time I've been working directly with the members of the WWMD to offer assistance and support on that. At the meeting on the 20th will be, sorry about that, Luke Francois, who is the treasurer of the committee, Grant Warren, who is the ecosystem restoration chairperson, and myself, because I know, Tom, you're going to be out of town at that point, and so we're more than pleased to carry it forward. Hope we do you proud on that one. There have been a number of focus groups that have been held in the county, which I sent out not only this update, but I also sent an attachment which talks about public housing and availability of single family and multifamily housing. This is being seen right now as one of the biggest challenges that our county has in order to attract people to move to Racine County. We've unfortunately seen a bit of a decline in our population over the past couple of years. And part of it is availability of housing. So you saw some information I sent. I won't go through all of that, but please understand that is a big issue right now that we are looking at as a county to try to make housing more available, affordable, try to find land that is in fact not dissimilar to what we did with the Newman project up here, so that we can have homes being built for people to move into Racine County. So this has been a pretty big issue. The last item I have right now is that I did send a follow-up note regarding tomorrow night. The county executive, Ralph Malicki, will be giving his state of the county update. He does this once a year. I will go ahead and make sure that I forward that actual presentation to all of you. However, the big bullet points I know are focused on mental health, infrastructure, capital issues, roads, systems, and so on, and also the availability of the housing, which I just spoke of a moment ago. So those are going to be some of the big topics that I know we'll hear tomorrow night, and I just wanted to make sure everybody was aware of that. If you're so inclined and you have absolutely nothing to do with your time and you're interested, you're more than welcome, please, to go online and you can watch it here firsthand. You can look it up at the county website. I'm sure that bold front and center for you to take a look at. So with that having been said, I'm more than available to answer any questions before I follow my duty of handing this microphone over to the left here. Any questions at all?
I have no questions. Thank you.
Greg, just a comment, follow on to your point about the housing situation and the presentation that you saw on that.
Yeah.
I did attend the Racine Kenosha County Bi-Council of Governments that was held a couple of weeks ago, where the executive director of the Racine County Economic Development Corporation made that presentation. Pretty interesting, concerning, stimulates a lot of thoughts in terms of things that we might want to be thinking about. I did follow up with her after that meeting and expressed an interest to learn more. She offered to present what she presented at that meeting to this entire board to engage in further discussion on that. So we'll see whether or not that happens down the road, but that offer was made.
I think that's an excellent offer. I appreciate you reaching out to try to make that connection. Just to leave everybody with a simple number, Racine County is deficient right now by roughly 4,500 single-family home availabilities right now for people to move in. So that gives you a general sense of how big the number is. And unfortunately, without that, it's hard to increase our population, which then obviously brings with it tax opportunities. So this is, again, almost like a double-edged sword that we want to make sure we're trying to do our best on. So I wanted to make sure I shared that. Anything else?
Thank you.
Coming to you, Coach.
There you go, Chief.
Thank you.
Okay, moving on to the police department.
Chief's report for April, calls for service. Officers were assigned to 677 calls for service. If you take out crime preventions, proactive things, and 28 calls where no officer was assigned due to turned over to or rescue calls, 470 calls that were handled by our officers. 36 traffic citations, 1 misdemeanor arrest, 2 ordinance tickets, 1 felony arrest. 15 incident reports were written, 3 informational, and 9 accident reports. If you break down calls for service a little bit, first shift handled 280 calls, second shift 266, and third shift, 131. If you break it down between the town and village, 286 calls for the town, 369 for the village, and 6 were OJ assists outside of our juris. Couple of quick noteworthy things. Sorry, I've got a few different things I'm going here. Don't know if it made it out in the general public, but we just recently responded to 3 different burglaries between the town and village. Those, in one of them, some things were taken from a new construction. Third shift officer and second shift officers worked that and actually found items that were taken from that being sold. They posed a meetup with that person to purchase items, identified items that were taken from that burglary, made an arrest for the stolen property. Search warrants were made, done, executed. We found evidence from 2, possibly 3 of those burglaries that happened here. We have also linked to at least 3 other jurisdictions that had burglaries in this area, and we believe we'll be able to end up tying 3 to 4 more jurisdictions burglaries. So it was a large ring that was being done by one person, and our officers did great work finding this person and take him into custody. He's being held right now on an immigration hold pending all these other charges. Let's see. Other quick things. I have now got us back into SMART, which is Suburban Mutual Aid or Assistance Response Team, which is gives us, it's very much like the MAVIS system. So if we have a major incident, we can call on all these other jurisdictions to come in and help us. Our give for that is we would do the same for them if they have something that needs extra bodies. Quick body camera update. They were supposed to be delivered. All of our stuff was supposed to be delivered the 1st of this month. I'm talking with Axon right now as to why this delay is and why the shipping hasn't happened yet. We had a drug take-back event last month. We got 53 pounds of either unused or outdated prescription and over-the-counter medication that we were able to turn over to be destroyed. We discussed last month that I wanted to get one of our officers into that DMV truck enforcement school. That officer completed that class last week and has that knowledge base. There's 2 other classes that go with that to further those so we can start doing more truck enforcement. Note on Water Patrol, the boat is in. We're going to start staffing that, and we're really hoping the PWC comes in soon. We're waiting on some parts for upfitting that. Canine update. I handed out proposals to the whole board here to take a look at. We have commitments from a veterinary service in the area that will be doing all of the vet care, ongoing care, and has pledged to pay for and provide us with all of the food that the dog will need. So that is taken care of. I reached out to another contact and they will be providing the vest for the dog, the bulletproof vest, along with emergency first aid kits, trauma kits, and they will be covering a large portion of the heat system so the dog doesn't overheat while they're in the squad. And finally, today I got confirmation back from a foundation I've been talking with that they are going to make a significant donation. I will wait to announce the amount and everything once the check comes in and clears. On those things, I'm just going to ask the board to find time in the next short order to go over, so we can go over that proposal. I can get any questions answered and get actual authorized approval from the board so we can get more rolling on the dog. Pick a handler, finally pick a name. Don't want to name it until it's approved. So, and then I have a few more candidates that we've got to get approved through the board for hire. We have 2 that I have backgrounds done on.
I'll discuss on the chair comment.
Yep. Sounds good. And that's all I have, barring any questions.
To the burglary suspect, do they live in the Waterford area or are they outside? The
They're
jurisdiction?
outside of the area.
Any other questions for the chief from the board? Okay, thank you, chief. Moving on to Tishman Fire Company.
Evening. I apologize, I have to leave after this meeting, but I have a very short one for you tonight. We had 18 EMS calls, 8 fire calls, 1 PI accident, and we had 6 MABUS alarms. And basically, 5 of them were out of the area, Waukesha County and other areas. So far this month, we responded to a total of 10 calls. Year to date, we have 159 calls so far. So thanks for your continued support.
Thank you. Any questions for the president? Thank you, Mark. All right, moving on to Waterford Waterways Management District.
Excuse me.
Childproof. Evening. We're a little bit here for you tonight. The WWMB is going to be hosting a representative, John Richter from Wisconsin Lakes, here at our next regular meeting on the 21st of Thursday. It's regarding the highly contentious across the whole state wake boat issue. We really encourage as many board members, PD, potential water patrol officers to attend as possible. Mainly this will focus on how wake boats affect the ecosystem in the waterway, especially in shallow water and waves. The legislature in the state has had a few bills posed to them, none of which have been acted on yet. They're waiting on what they're waiting for. Nothing will be done until probably the fall session now, if anything. And we also hope to have more to try to get presentations from other entities, i.e. maybe the wakeboarding industry, other than a group that is opposed and like this in town to make their own ordinances. So we'll see what happens with that, but that's the goal. And we would expect probably at some point, like other towns, that the town board and ordinance committee is going to probably have to get involved one way or another. So again, if you can attend, please do. It's at 6 o'clock next Thursday, the 21st. And to go with that, you might want to consider posting a notice of potential quorum in case any board members, enough board members show up for that.
Yeah, if you want to just send me the details, I can post that.
That's it on that. The spring buoy swap was done out to the full-size buoys a few weeks ago, thanks to the PD, the DPW, and the volunteers that helped, a couple of repairing volunteers that helped out. That went pretty well. I did get a chance to install the new channel marker lights with one of our other WWMD folks, Alex. So all 26 of those are out and operational. Hopefully they survive the summer, and they look good out there. They're flashing yellow lights now. I've had discussions with Chief here to increase the water patrol as much as possible that the staffing and budget will permit. It's already been pretty busy out there, and personally, I see enough violations to go around already that probably could pay for everything. Greg already covered the Monsanto, so I don't need to mention that. We continue to work with Baxter Woodman toward the first of 3 annual drawdowns on the waterway. The first of hopefully, which would be this fall. The dates are to be determined yet, and we still are waiting written confirmation from the DNR. The joint project between WWMD and the Village of Waterford to install a second pier by the library launch is complete and is now fully usable. The harvesting is, the equipment's planned to be put out there this Wednesday, the 13th, and go operational on Monday, May 18th. And that schedule should be posted on the WWMD as soon as he gets that squared away. Let's see. And herbicide is scheduled for the start on June 18th in all of the navigation channels. And the last item is we're very grateful to the Frost Farm again for offering their site for weed disposal.
Any question for Gary? Okay, thank you, Gary.
Gary,
Moving on to Department of Public Works, Starkin Road.
are you gonna be? Okay, just release for this one. Okay. Thank you.
I would like to present to the board an addendum to an employment agreement. The purpose of this addendum is to establish an alternative summer work schedule for DPW employees while clarifying the application of overtime provision during this period. During the designated summer period, defined as the first Monday in May through the last Friday in September, DPW employees may work a modified schedule consisting of 4 work days of 9 hours each and 1 work day of 4 hours, which would be on a Friday, for a total of 40 hours per work week. Memorial Day, Independence Day, and Labor Day are recognized as paid holidays. During the week in which these holidays occur, employees shall work 4 8-hour days. Holiday pay shall be applied so that employees receive compensation equivalent to 40 hours for the work week, and employees shall not be required to use accrued vacation time to reach 40 hours. Overtime provisions. Notwithstanding the current provision in the agreement that overtime is paid for hours worked in excess of 8 hours per day, the following shall apply during the approved summer schedule period. Overtime shall be paid only for hours worked in excess of 40 hours in a work week. The daily overtime threshold of 8 hours shall be waived for the duration of the summer schedule. Upon conclusion of the summer work schedule period, all overtime provisions outlined in the existing agreement, including overtime for hours worked over 8 in a day, shall resume in full force. No other terms and conditions of the existing agreement shall remain unchanged and in full effect. I'm assuming everybody has received this addendum already. Any questions?
Jim, my only question is this any different than what has been in place for the last X number of years?
Yes, this is different in the fact that we've always worked 5 8-hour days each week, summer and winter. So this would just change it to the summer. We would have those 9-hour days. The purpose for that is to get more things done during those days when we're mowing roadsides, parks, shouldering, striping, anything we're doing where we have to set up signs, where you have to take out trailers and equipment and take the equipment off the trailers and put it back up. This saves time and we don't have to do that for 5 days. We can do that for 4, stay out there that extra hour, and we think we can get more done. Most of the local DPWs and even the county has changed their hours like this also in the past 2 years.
Thank you.
Jim, just a recommendation to put your start date at May 4th and your end date at September 25th. So it's clear in the document.
Okay.
Thanks.
Any other questions for Jim? How does the board wish to move forward?
What is your plan for those short Fridays then? I don't, is it paperwork, training? What sort of things can you accomplish in 4 hours?
Well, typically on Fridays during the summer, now we work long hours during the winter due to the snow events. So on the Fridays during the summer, a lot of times guys would take off the afternoon anyway. So we found that it wasn't a good day to get bigger projects done. We would usually just take care of the parks in the morning and do short things. So a short work day on Friday is not a problem to us. Actually, it's just the way it is. So this falls in, I think it falls into a better place if we do it this way. But we'll have plenty to do. Usually on Friday before the parks have something going on the weekends, whether it's baseball or someone's renting out a pavilion, we always have to clean that up. And then we'll always have dead animals and calls every day. So,
is there any anticipated impact on potential overtime with this?
I wouldn't see it because now we have to work 40 hours in order to get overtime now. So actually, you might have less overtime in this case.
Any other questions? How does the board want to move forward? We want to make a motion?
I'll make the motion to approve the addendum to the employment agreement.
I'll second that.
Discussion? I would say for discussion that we try it this year and see how it works. So it's not a continuous thing.
Yep. This
We'll
year.
do an addendum for this year. And we'll revisit it spring next year. So you guys are going to have a motion second. Call for a vote. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Okay, Jim, moving on to the road school report. How was class?
Great. I came into Wisconsin Town Association from Spring Road School from April 27th to the 29th of this year. The seminar highlighted critical infrastructure challenges, specifically the upcoming expiration of the GPR funding, and that's general purpose revenue, which has historically supported our projects via our engineer Kapoor's assistance. Key takeaways: bridges and structures. Our Marsh Road structure right now, the one that has collapsed, is rated as a 0. It's a high priority for grants, with repairs estimated at $440,000. That grant for that is a 90% grant, so we would be on the hook for about $40,000 of that. Conversely, our structure rated number 3, which is on Territorial Road, is unlikely to receive immediate funding as resources prioritize 0-rated sites. State aid gaps. While road aid will increase to $3,018 a mile in 2027, it fails to offset the 35% bid increase in prices, created a statewide maintenance crisis. Grant strategies. Experts recommend a dedicated grant writing approach, similar to WAPACA's collaborative model. I suggest forming a committee to identify community needs and coordinate with a professional grant writer, as this specialized work exceeds current staff capacity. Operations. I am evaluating mastic road repair as a durable alternative to crack filling. Additionally, I earned a 2-year flagger and work zone safety certification, which I have shared with Hocker and Chris. And additionally, I encourage attendance at the legislative presentation in Oak Creek on May 27th of this year at 7:30 a.m. to advocate for continued infrastructure funding, specifically bridges and structures. Any questions?
Just a comment, Jim, thanks for the report. Thanks for making the time to attend. And it sounds like you got important information coming out, and appreciate the recommendations coming back. Regarding the grant writer suggestion, I think it's a great suggestion. It's something that I think the town in general could benefit from. So I'm wondering, as we look at the potential down the road to secure some sort of dedicated grant writing capability, I would see that applying to certainly the grant opportunities within the public works arena, but broader than that to benefit the town overall.
In addition to that, we ran into a few communities that shared that grant writer with neighboring communities.
Yeah.
There'd be 3 different communities sharing them and using that as a part-time grant writer.
There's one at the high school that has
Yes.
been helping, stuff like that. Yeah. You know, you've been working with them, chief, stuff like that, so. There's nothing. Greg, I'll give you a second to comment here.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I just thought I would offer on behalf of the county that we actually have an individual, his name is Travis Richardson. His responsibility is to actually work towards finding grants. So he might be a good resource for you to be able to network with or to be able to utilize when it comes to the startup of what you're trying to accomplish here. It would make sense. And Travis is always willing to offer his time. So even a simple conversation might be valuable for you. I'm happy to make the inroad for the introduction when you're ready for that.
Yeah, I've met Travis before, so I have his information.
One other comment. When we were at the conference, and we split up because there was groups going on at the same time in different And one thing we've noticed, we both noticed it, the speakers at these conferences would ask us, how many of you out there right now are taking advantage of the grants or know what the grants are or have applied for the grant? There were not many hands going up. I think our township has done a great job in the last 3 or 4 years that I'm aware of, at least, of acquiring these grants and receiving money. I think we have received close, or will be receiving close to $4 or $5 million just in road and structure grants. I don't think other townships are doing that, just to let you know.
Thank you.
Let's hope it stays that way.
I was just gonna say.
Well, and that's one of the reasons for that Oak Creek meeting. They're looking for they're looking for board members to come and tell the legislature that, hey, we need to keep these grants going because we can't keep funding them. And the state will cut these really quick if they don't look at roads as being a big deal. Other things prioritized over.
Thank you. Any other questions? All right, thank you, Jim. Operations Committee report. Pass the mic.
See if I can navigate the Lake Hole top data. Thanks, Gary. Good evening, Chairman and Supervisor. Welcome to the team, Bill. Thanks for reaching out prior to this meeting for some clarification. That means a lot. I previously shared with the board on my report last week. Hopefully you had a chance to kind of comb through that. The Operations Committee met on the 15th and 23rd of this month to take the time to vet and interview the 2 candidates for to replace our current assessor who's retiring. The Operations Committee will request of you to move forward with our recommendation. This Tyler and Associates will provide us our necessary services under the $250,000 that have been budgeted. So I think that's a great win for the town. We took a great interview process. Tanya was involved in that. Tina, excuse me. I appreciate that. And the committee went and proposed 12 different items for each of these firms. One firm came in person, and the second firm chose to participate via Zoom. We did take into consideration price, responsiveness, etc. on the attached report. Hopefully you had a chance to look at that. And before I go on to the rest, if anybody has any questions on that before I get into the next bullet point, anybody? Okay. All right. Next thing on our agenda is in the coming weeks, the Operations Committee will be reviewing the IT RFBs that we have received. We received 8 legitimate proposals from those firms, and we're going to, in the coming weeks, start weeding through those, vetting them out, and trying to winnow that down to 3 to 4, my guess, or my hope, that we can invite in to get meaty proposals from and ask questions once we comb through those. I will share that I killed a couple of trees printing all that off. I've got a packet of information on my desk at home this thick to look through. That's going to take some time. So I know some people make the assumption that these committees don't do the work. This takes a lot of personal time that I give to the town, and I'm not asking for any ribbons, but just to make people aware of what this means. Let's see here. We've been working with Jim to review his needs. I know he's still working through that as stuff comes in. I know I chatted with him this afternoon. He has a truck that he's going to need somebody to looking at a replacement. So hopefully in the next month or 2, we can figure out what's his best path forward for that. I want to thank Tom for his time that he gives to this committee, Adam, Kelly, and Tina for helping put together the additional information that you received for their time. Do you have any questions for me?
I do not. Thank you. Any questions for the board?
Yeah.
All right, thank you very much, Chris, appreciate it. Moving on to ordinance committee. Dave?
Chairman, Supervisor. The committee met to discuss and make changes to the voting ordinances requested by WPD on March 26, 26. After that meeting, after the work of the committee, we submitted to the board a recommendation of approval of our work as a whole. The only comment I want to make there is at the April meeting, it came to our attention that the chief, water patrol, and a person from the water patrol attended the DNR conference the previous week, and that additional changes are needed before the board can take action on it, which we asked the board not to take any action on ours. However, we want to keep in mind that the committee still has the issue of violations and fines that we passed on to the board to consider when you finally look at these peer and voting. The committee chair, we met with Gary Hay, Chief O'Neill, and Linda Brandt on April 15th and went over additional requirements for state approval. The main issue is that all swim buoys need to be assigned GPS coordinates and how to deal with these being seen as their private buoys. So, and that we discussed, and until, we hear back, I guess the committee's on hold on any of that stuff. Lastly, a request from the PD, the committee would like to start working on a more defined dog ordinance without objection from the chair.
I have no problem with looking at ordinances. I would involve Tony too, because I'm aware of a recent incident that created some issues. So, Keith, are you good with that?
Yeah, and like it reviewed if possible.
Okay, thank you.
And lastly, Chief, I'd like to apologize to you personally on behalf of our committee, the ordinance committee, for the faceless breach and the heinous post that was put on our Facebook page. It shouldn't have occurred, it did occur, and from an ordinance standpoint, maybe in the future we can look back at it, that was taken away from us, and so be it. Safeguards need to be put in place. That's all I have. If anybody has questions.
Any questions for Dave?
The private swim buoys, those are owned by the individual homeowners?
Associations.
Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, if they need do they need state approval with the GPS coordinates?
Yeah.
So that we need to put in place some sort of permitting process so we know about them in advance.
The thought is, or one of the thoughts is, we put them in there, but we don't take over the maintaining of them. So if those associations no longer want to maintain them, we will remove them from the ordinance so that it doesn't cause any more of a burden or monetary, need from the town. These were put in by the homeowners associations, and when we met with the chief, myself, and Linda, when we met, it was quite obvious that there could be costs involved to the town. And why would we take on that cost if we don't have to? And thus, we were looking for a discussion with the homeowners associations so that they understand that them employees belong to them, they maintain them, and it's at no cost to the town. So that's where that whole thing stands right now. Any other questions?
Is there a cost for permitting those buoys?
I believe there is no cost, correct?
Can I speak?
Yeah.
There is no cost, and I will, once those buoys go in, I'll go out and get the coordinates and get them permitted, but just to make sure you understand, it's gonna take a while for that ordinance to make its rounds, because once those ordinance get in the new ordinance, that goes to you guys to approve, to move to the DNR, not to take action. Then the DNR reviews the ordinance yay, they say yay or nay. If it is, then we gotta have a public meeting on the ordinance before you can take action, which is a 60-day period. So it's gonna be a while, but it does not cost anything to get the permits. And I'll do that. I'll take care of that.
So everybody knows, we're talking 2 swim buoys, possibly 1. How many swim buoys are there?
2 swim areas.
There's 2 areas, several buoys, yeah.
And there's no issue with putting the buoys in before the ordinance is approved?
No, I've already talked to the DNR. They're good. They're happy that we're taking care of this, and they either get the coordinates or they don't go in.
And the water was too high to put them in.
Okay, thank you. All right, moving on to Town Planning Commission recommendations. Supervisor Yolanda?
There was one application for a pier permit and variance. The variance was a desire to reduce the 10-foot setback off the property line. There were some questions about the navigable waterway line and other issues. So the Planning Commission voted to table it until more information is received.
How does the board wish to proceed? Can I get a motion to continue the table?
Move to postpone until we get a recommendation from the Planning Commission.
A motion?
Second.
Okay, any discussion? Call for vote, all in favor?
Aye.
Thank you. All right, appointment of officials. I motion to appoint for 1-year terms to the following: Town Engineer for Ford Associates, Town Surveyor Jerry Foat, the Weed Commissioner to the Clerk's Office. The Weed Commissioner used to be Kenny Hintz. I thought we could eliminate that, but I guess I can't. So we need the Weed Commissioner according to state statutes. So those are the 1-year appointments I'm looking to approve at tonight's meeting. Looking for motion to approve those.
Could we discuss the Kapoor and Associates?
Gonna make a motion, sir. I'm sorry.
I'll move to approve the appointments that you recommended.
Got a motion? Guys, looking for a second?
I'll second.
Okay, now we can have discussion. Andrew, do you want to discuss?
Due to ongoing issues with Kapoor, have we looked into any other firms for that at all?
I talked to Jim, there's been several that cards and information I've given to him. The problem we run into right now, we have not solved Buena Park yet. And I think it would be hard to solve it if we brought a different engineer at this time. My goal is to get the project done and move forward. I know Jim's already been working on a couple other projects for this year that we need to do. And I say we revisit the year and start the fall if we do want to change engineer. That's where I stand with it right now, but we need to fix the Buena Park project. And we've been going back and forth, and I've already been in talk with legal on how I'm thinking about moving forward, and I just want the project done. Great. So that's where I stand with the board.
Are we experiencing any changes in behavior, approach, demeanor from Kapoor, given the events that have and discussions that have transpired over the last 4 to 6 months?
Jim and I met with before, was it a month ago, 2 months ago, talking about future road projects, stuff like that, because I found out that we actually had, was it a 10-year plan we were doing?
Yeah, they were a 5 and a 10.
5-year plan, and I wanted that updated so I could share with the board. I did get it recently, and I will share with it when I do my assignments, but I want to get that out, and we're gonna come up with a plan. If we want to keep those roads, I know Jim, you were checking into some of those roads.
Yeah.
To make sure this was a list completed by the past superintendent. So I want to confirm these are the roads, add any roads we need, come up with a plan so we do have a long-term project for our road walker. So,
And we do have a lot of grants out there right now that they've applied for. They have done a very good job of getting us grants that I can't believe we got. One of them's Lowland. I can't believe we got that grant. They've done a good job there. My eyes have been opened up a little bit on that whole Buena Park project. I can't say that we can blame it all on Kapoor. I also look at the way the state sets up some of these grants from the beginning isn't the way I would do it. They want the engineers to come up with a number right away before they do any soil borings or really look at these projects. And I think that because of that, some of these projects are gonna run a little short on funding because they're not looking into them deep enough. Bill, even I can talk about that someday. Where I do think they've had some issues, but this year would be nice to keep them around one more year until I get my feet on the ground also.
Any other questions?
Yeah, I have a question on Kapor. And the project, do we know how long we think it's gonna take before the project wraps up and it's completely finished?
Supposed to be this week is what I heard, and that's what I got right.
They will turn for.
Yeah, and so I'll follow up with that. We have a final punch list we have to do with them and walk out there and walk the road, make sure that nothing missed, anything like that. I would probably put a post out there on the issues we know about, mailboxes, as an example, that I don't think we can fix. We've tried some alternative things with the US Postal Service, but I don't think that's gonna go anywhere. But we do the final punch list. We do that, get them hopefully to do the work, and then we'll call the meeting as I've been working with legal the best way to proceed forward. Right now, we're just sitting on the funds.
And how much do we owe them? Do we owe our engineering firm any money at this point for that project?
I believe there is some owed. They have stopped billing us, which they told us at several meetings. I'll update all that once we get the project done. But Pay Act 7, which you recently got, shows all that information. But I don't want to guess at a number because I can't off the top of my head, but it's considerable, and we're hopefully going to work to solve that number a little lower. Because right now they are still paying bill and is still paying the project completion date fine for not being done with time. That still is accruing.
So I would just like some clarification on what we mean by done when it comes to this project. Is it substantially complete construction and everything outdoors is done, or is done, all the financials are resolved, any remaining payments are made? What are we considering done?
Well, there's two dones actually, in my opinion. One is the road being done, and one is when we argue about the financials. I want the road to be done, and that's where we're at right now. Jim, you mentioned you've been out there a few times. I've driven it. We're down to the soil things, so it should be done shortly as far as the road goes. The next steps, and again, I'm working, I'm going to call the meeting and stuff like that, and how we're going to proceed. Right now, this finger pointing at Kapor, back and forth, left and right. Like Jim said, I don't think we're completely innocent on this project either. We got to come to a conclusion in the best interest of the taxpayers.
Okay, thank you. I would just encourage us when we communicate, especially when we communicate to the public and so forth, that when we say done, which done are we talking about and what do we mean?
Two dones.
Two dones.
One is the road, one is the financial thing.
Two dones.
Two dones. We're getting money on the
First done is almost done.
Let the meeting minutes show that there are
Two done.
Got it.
One done, two done.
Got it.
And hopefully this will be a lesson learned and we never go through this again. Yes.
I'm sorry, one more question. Is Kapor helping us in any way with negotiations with other contractors where we owe, payment on final invoices?
Okay. Just to clarify, Payne and Dolan is the general contractor. Any subs used are Payne and Dolan's responsibility. So what we got to worry about, we work with Payne and Dolan, they got to worry about their subs. We made a partial payment several months ago to help them fund all the subs. So in my opinion, they should be home. Payne and Dolan is sort of the big dog on this, and Kapor is an iron. So it's the three parties that will have to meet to figure this out.
Got it.
All right, so I have a motion and a second on my one-year plan. Any further discussion from the board? Okay, call for vote. All in favor?
Aye.
Okay. All right, I motion to appoint the following three-year terms for planning commissioner. Number 3, Max Wendt. Planning commissioner number 4, Adam Smuskowski. Planning commissioner number 5, Adam Kelly. They're all currently on the board. Adam recently started on the board. Any questions on those 3-year appointments? Looking for a motion to approve them.
Move to approve.
Got a motion to approve, looking for a second.
A second.
Got a second. Any discussion? All right, I'll call for a vote then. All in favor?
Aye.
All right, I'm looking for a motion to extend 3-year term from the present expiration date. Kreisig Law Office, the outside counsel to be approved by town board. Our town attorney. I need a motion to approve his law office.
I'll make that motion.
And a motion, looking for a second.
Yeah.
I'll second. Any discussion? Call for a vote?
I have a question.
Sure.
Have we reached out for public bid on this?
We have not. He's been with us, stuff like that, so yeah, we have not. This is a fine with me. Any other discussion?
It's kind of rare for them to do that. Not too often do they do that for attorneys and municipalities.
All right, got a motion, second, call for vote. All in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Passes. All right, the ordinance committee is down 2 people. I would like to make 2 appointments to the ordinance committee. One is the self-appointed performer to replace Dale Turkey that has you be on the ordinance committee, and also Gary Hay back there that has expressed interest in the committee too. He's been sort of part of it already and has been helping out, so those are my appointments to the ordinance committee to fill that committee up. Looking for a motion to approve those 2.
I'll move to approve those appointments.
Got a motion, looking for a second.
Second.
Okay. Got a second. Any discussion? Call for vote. All in favor?
Aye.
Abstain.
Thank you.
Yeah, makes sense. Aye. All right. That's it for my appointments at this meeting right now. Okay, discussion and action regarding the ordinance update recycling collection. We all had it previous month. We got it again this month. I'm going to defer to Tony to discuss it and if any other questions for us.
If I may real quick, I discussed with Tom, and I think the easiest way for maybe everybody to kind of is forget all the blue. The blue were suggestions that were incorporated in. So the blue just stayed to show who made the suggestions, but I think it was just a little too confusing. So forget the blue. You're accepting it with the red and the changes.
Correct.
Correct, right?
That we just left that in there because obviously you get this long ordinance, you're not gonna be able to see what was
Right.
modified, changed, and then to
Yeah.
be approved of all of that out.
Yeah.
Okay. Looking for a motion to approve the recycling ordinance so we can get out to the DNR.
I'll move to approve the ordinance without the blue commentary.
All right, and we have a motion to approve without the blue. Looking for a second.
Second.
Second, any discussion on this ordinance? We'll make the DNR happy. All right.
I will let them know to, I'll
Well,
let
we
you sign it.
approve it. All right. And a motion second, we'll call for the vote. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Thanks for your help, Tony.
All right. New business. Discussion and possible action regarding the assessment firm. First off, I want to thank Operations Committee for meeting with the people and getting this all together and the presentation sent to me. I appreciate it. Helped us save the board some time. So basically, as been presented, I'm looking for a motion to approve the recommendation of Tyler Technologies. And then looking for a second.
I move to approve the recommendation of Tyler Technologies as our new town assessor firm.
I got a motion, looking for a second.
I will second that motion.
Got a second. Now we have discussion. Any discussion on the process or on the quotes, the bid? Because our next step would be get a formal written contract. It'll have to be reviewed by the town attorney and then signed by myself. It's pretty long here, but I want to make sure there's nothing that they have not reviewed. I know we've got a sample. You already sent a sample
It's sent to
right there, but I need the blanks filled in.
I
To be
don't,
reviewed.
I don't know if, correct me if I'm wrong, if maybe it should say, beginning like, June 30th, because we'll have our board of review with our current assessor. So she'll still have all the cards until she does her report. Our board of reviews the 19th, 20th. So I don't know if the motion needs to say that they'll start taking over June 30th or July 1st.
I would not mind them being present at our board of review meeting.
Yeah, they just wouldn't be able to do anything with
They
the
won't be
cards
able to do
until
anything, but
then.
they can absorb, see what's going on and observe.
Oh, for sure. I just
Yes,
mean like they
yeah.
wouldn't be able to start the process until June
Yes.
30th.
would
Okay.
be- yeah, I'm fine with that. I have a motion, second, more discussion, Tom?
So, can we amend the motion pending the mutually agreeable contract and put a time frame to say we're gonna get the contract and the job in 45 days from from today?
I'd like it quicker than that.
I would too. I mean, we could go 30 days.
Well, I would like the motion to say that contract they put together, gets sent to the, basically, obviously Tina would get it.
Mhm.
Go to the attorney and me, and if it's all within the guidelines, we approve it.
I could also, oh, I'm sorry.
I don't think it has to go back to the board for approval. If we're gonna make a motion to approve this firm from the research that was done with the operations, let's move forward. The costs aren't gonna change in here. It's just making sure all the terminology in the contract is suitable for the town. If it's not suitable to the town, I do my contract, I redline it and remove it and go that route. I don't think that's gonna be the case in the contract I saw.
There was only two minor things that I saw in there. Do you want me to bring those up now?
You can bring them up to the board, yes.
In terms of the invoice and payment disputes on the second page, I would say there should be some clarification as to if there's a defect in something they do, when is that discoverable? Because right now, it's only giving the town 15 days from an invoice to dispute anything. And based on what they're doing, there could be a lot of stuff that we don't find.
Yeah, and we don't pay that quick legally, so that's gotta change for sure.
Yep, so that, there was that one, and then it looks as though it's, from what I read in this, it looks as though it's their software.
Yes.
Is there like an ongoing licensing fee with?
Yes, yeah, it's
Okay, okay.
incorporated in that. I could also get the Village of Rochester's contract too, and I'll send that over.
Yeah, I don't think we have to kick this down 45 minutes, because then we're in June already, and I will move forward.
That's fine, as long as the motion doesn't require the acknowledgement that we still gotta get to the end of job on the contract.
No, I think the motion should be that we'll go with Tyler Tech, and we're gonna have Tina, the town attorney, and myself review it and approve it. It's done. I mean, we did all the research already.
Can we have, things like this with these types of dollar amounts, have the board at least see a contract? Whether it's this one or the next one that's coming up, so that we get more eyes on it.
Well, it's not a problem seeing it. I mean,
moving forward, yeah.
And I think it's.
Well, this is a lot less than Buena Park, I'll tell you that, but
Yeah.
that's fine. I mean, Tina can send the current thing out to everybody tomorrow if you want to.
Well, everybody's got.
It was
The
been sent out
boilerplate
previously.
contract was in the Tyler Tech RFP proposal response, so that
You may not have been.
the language was in
that.
that. Yeah, it's in the packet, Bill, from Tyler.
Can you make a note to send it to Bill tomorrow?
Sure.
So I don't think anything can happen before Friday, but if you see something that.
Yeah.
Bring it up to me, I'll revisit it, but how do we want to move forward? We have a motion, we have a second. Any further discussion? Do we want to modify the motion, rescind it, or do we want to,
Motion stands.
That's fine. I have a motion, second, let's call for vote.
I would like to thank the operations committee for digging through that. That was a lot of data, a lot of information to sift through. I reached many of the same conclusions looking at it on my own. So I just want to say thank you for doing all that.
Yeah.
Thank you.
It was a huge undertask that you guys did a great job.
Okay, so I have a motion, second, calling for a vote to move forward with Tyler Tech as soon as possible once we get the contract.
Aye.
Aye. All right, that is done. All right. Chair report. I have several things I want to talk about. Three. First off, I'll defer. I want to see how our Facebook is going. So Tom?
Yeah.
Give the board an update on how our Facebook is going, other than the issue we recently had.
Okay, great. Everyone will recall that we started live with the Facebook page on April 1st. I want to thank Brianna for gathering this information, and our hope is to continue to keep this board and the public aware of how things are going with the Facebook page. We have, as of today, 760 followers on the Facebook page. That is roughly a 25 to 30% increase over the April board meeting. So we're continuing to gather a following out there, which is a testament to value of the information that's being posted. That we have almost 100,000 views and interactions from those who are seeing the Facebook page. So that is also phenomenal. 80% of the followers of the Facebook page are from Waterford, either the town or the village or somewhere in between. 20% are from your Muskegos, Wind Lakes, and other places. Acknowledging that it's not only individuals who are following the pages, but it's also businesses and other entities as well. So we're going to continue the Facebook page as a bulletin board to get out as much information as we can. It's been a lot of value. People have commented to us personally, not online, but to us, that there's a lot of value in that. And the post that has garnered the most interaction over the last month, for obvious reasons, was the Fox River Road, Marsh Road closure during the flooding event back on in late April. So people really appreciated the Facebook page for getting information like that out there as well. So would continue to encourage the word of mouth communication amongst your sphere of influence and circle. If you know folks who aren't utilizing the Facebook page yet, please encourage them to sign up and follow us. Thank you, Tim.
Did you like the bulk pickup one? The bulk pickup one? The post that we did for that one, telling them to save room at the dump?
Call GFL.
Mhm.
All right, moving on to my report. Since we got the Facebook going, the next step is I've been in discussion with Tina. We're working on a community newsletter that we're looking to publish. Small departments, I'm looking to do it not quarterly, it'll be like every 4 months. So I think the first issue will go for July 1st. Then we have a winter one, we have a spring one. So I will be meeting with Tina, go over that, and we'll get an email to all the boards and stuff that wish to submit something to the newsletter. And then we'll work with the designer for the template and figure out the best design for that going forward. Supervisor appointments, I will do next month's meeting. I want to give all the supervisors some time to be able to get settled in. I do want each supervisor to reach out to me the next week or two. So we can discuss. I will be looking at some appointments to liaisons and also for special projects to be overseen. And I don't, I want to be everybody to be on the same page. The other thing is, effective tomorrow, there'll be a post going up looking for a WWMD commissioner. The town chair appoints a commissioner. I'm looking for a new commissioner to replace Bill McCormick as our liaison or our person on the commission. So that will be going up tomorrow. And the final thing is, since I got the whole board here, I'd like to get a date for a special meeting to talk about the police door and also a TOG, and also look at hiring a couple more part-time officers to supplement our team. And
first thing he said.
so, what is people's availability coming up? Can we go as quick as the 18th next Monday?
Dog and what else?
What time are you?
Well, we could do, I'm flexible time. Mondays usually board meetings, we can do 5 o'clock. It's gonna be open, close. The dog won't, it'll be open session, but the interviews will be open, close, open. But I gotta confirm with the chief to call these part-timers to make sure they can come out. Make it up, because I want to get as much done at one time. And also, we gotta circle back with the WPPD on their meeting, because I have heard from on the contract, we are trying to negotiate with them, so I will get that out tomorrow. I'll try and get that one.
So I'm going to be on the road traveling on Monday evening, so that's probably not best for me. Whatever we do, I will be remoting in, so we'll need Zoom capability for this meeting if it's going to be next week.
Okay.
I've got other flexibility during the week next week, and I could make something like that work.
I'm deferring the rest of you guys. I'll make my schedule.
I'm available on Monday afternoon.
Okay.
Monday the 18th.
Monday afternoon.
Bob, what's your schedule like?
It depends on the time.
Well, you tell me the time a little bit. What do you?
Well, I'm available in the morning. He's not available. I'm also
Tonight.
available in the evening. It's the middle part of the day that I had an issue. He's not available in the evening.
What about Tuesday night? What people's schedule Tuesday?
I can do Tuesday.
Yeah.
Bob?
Tuesday evening?
Well, we'd say, what's your definition of evening? 4:35?
Yeah, that's fine.
Yep.
Gentlemen? Bill?
The earliest I can do is 4:30.
All right. How about we set up the meeting for 4:30 next Tuesday? Chief, can you reach out the applicants? I'm gonna recommend that we do the interviews first.
Chief, are you available?
Yeah, are you
Are you available,
Chief?
Chief? Are you available?
I'll make it work.
Yeah, that's his department. He can be available. And then we'll do the
Will I
talk
be
second,
here?
all right? So the public knows, we're gonna go open, close, back open, after you do our interviews. and then we'll talk about the dog. Each of you, you last around 15, 20 minutes, so. People that want to be part of the dog, last.
The dog needs to be present.
He can hear
No,
us.
the dog is not gonna be present.
It's a joke.
All right,
between us and
that's
Chief.
all I have. Looking for a motion to adjourn.
I move to adjourn.
And a motion, looking for a second. Second. Okay, a motion second, any discussion? I call for vote, all in favor? Aye.
6:35, thank you.
Do you wanna, just touch base with me tomorrow so I can get everything on the agenda? You guys would like me to bring it?
He's not gonna make it there.